So recently, a TDE lawsuit came out for misconduct, like the not a good time. And Wack 100 decided to speak on it, and he got real deep. I mean, I would imagine that Wack 100 is tapped in with them. So let's see what they had to say.
What's the one thing you never heard that was never touched? And now I know you're reaching. You never heard there was any physical nothing that went on.
What's good, y'all? It's your boy, the Answer Man. Somewhere Drake is celebrating. Academics having a little party. He said he knew about it months ago. He was just waiting for the bomb to drop. Man, let's get to the details of this TDE case.
That's the problem. And the people know that a lot of people brain, they don't they can't just grab everything, especially with something like that. You got to really read it and break it down. Like everything I heard, I pay attention to one thing. And that whole, what's the one thing you never heard that was never touched? And now I know you're reaching. You never heard there was any physical nothing that went on.
That's how I feel. Somebody knows something.
This first thing I pay attention to. When we pay attention to Diddy and all these other, this is what we hear, right? So now when you take this right here and you really listen to what she's saying, first of all, the problem started, she said she wasn't paid, right? Now, so the first question I'm going to ask is, was you contracted directly to TDE or was you somebody that came through a temporary agency? It's the first thing I'm going to ask, right? Because if you contracted directly to TDE, that's one thing. But if you come through a temporary agency, I think people get in these environments and start to say, I work for TDE, right? If the temporary agency is R&B Enterprises, and R&B Enterprises calls you, Rue, and say, hey, we got a temp job over here at Top Dog Entertainment for you to go in here and do this, that, and other, it's gonna pay you $3,000 a month, right? You take the job, you go over there, right? You go over there, right? TDE ain't gonna pay you a thing. Cause TDE might be getting charged $4,200 a month from R&B Enterprises, right? The contract is from R&B Enterprises to TDE, and R&B Enterprises has subcontracted and sent you as the worker. So now I want to know, was you directly contracted to TDE or was you contracted through another entity?
I'm happy that he breaking that down because I think when this stuff come up, it's quick for everybody to point the finger, and we don't never give nobody a chance. You know what I mean? I just talked about this on the channel. Make sure y'all check that out. It's right on the channel, and I realized that you know we have to look at the whole thing in its entirety. You know, this is people lives at stake. This is people innocence at stake, and if they ain't do nothing wrong, then that's a different situation.
In which TDE paid and maybe they didn't pay, right? So first, I haven't heard no physical contact or none of that. Two, we don't know if you was contracted directly to TDE or an entity at TDE had a contract and you been subcontracted out. Three, you didn't put no dollar amount. See, ordinarily when a person don't include a dollar amount because they may be owed $278, but they know if they put that down there, people gonna look at it like, what the fuck are you talking about? Is that a discrepancy in some hours, right? Because if an older person, 100,000, 20,000, 50,000, 1,000, 5,000, they're gonna put that in there, right? I don't see that. Three, you mentioned everybody but the founder, which is who we know as Top Dog, right? So everybody else I see you mention are people that he's positioned within his companies. Four, you're saying you were coerced into drinking alcohol. Now, here goes the problems with open studio sessions. See, when you walk through the door, immediately to the right, there's always this little stand, and it got a tray on it. And on the tray, right, is usually liquors, Red Bulls, and juices, and little mints, and peanuts, standard, right? Now, when people come into the studio, right? Anybody can go over there and get a water, get a Red Bull, pour a shot or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's really paying attention. I'm just gonna be real with you. So when I hear you say you were coerced,
Yeah, that's
I'm
different.
not hearing you saying this individual brought me some liquor and I was underage. Are you saying you were coerced because you were in a studio environment and you
Mhm.
chose to go over there and pour yourself a drink?
Exactly.
Another thing is she was 15, 16, 17, or 19. I think her age would have been included because now it makes it look even worse. See, when they
Mhm.
leave certain
That's a
out,
fact.
it's because it sounds better, right? Without putting in there the 20-year-old such and such and such and such
That
in
sound
the month
different.
of May, although going to be 21 in July, right? See, whenever it's up, they're going to give you all the details because they want you to know it's up.
That's a
When
fact.
that came out against Diddy, they said 13-year-old.
Yeah.
They didn't just say female was
Or
attacked.
victim. Yeah. He's
They
right.
gave her age. They gave all this. The other lady they supposed to
Pictures.
flew in, they said 16-year-old, right? R. Kelly, they gave you an age. They weren't playing no games. So now we want to know, how old was she? Did she voluntarily go get the liquor that was over there?
True.
Because I believe at the age of 20, right, or even 19, that your know what you supposed to be doing and shouldn't be doing.
Yeah,
Are
Yeah.
they
that's a
guilty?
fact.
That's a
Are they
fact.
guilty of having a security guard not standing over there by this tray, right? Because somebody have came in there that may want to take advantage
Or taint
of
the
what's
circle.
accessible, right? Are we gonna shoot? Are we gonna treat the liquor bottle as a firearm in a home around children? If that's what we gonna do,
Yeah.
if that's your narrative you want to run, that got to be your narrative. But I believe a person at a certain age, right? And I'm gonna personally tell myself, anybody from
18 to 21, you know what's going on. If you in an environment and you ain't tell nobody your real age, I think that's a different thing, and you making everybody liable for your actions.
18 on know what the they supposed to be doing and not
That's a
supposed to be
fact.
doing.
Facts.
But they
Straight
trying
up.
to say that they were coerced into
But I'm
drinking.
saying, but okay,
Mhm.
they never said they were offered. They never said
Right.
they were forced, right? So now we
Mhm.
gotta ask ourselves, are you playing games,
Mm-hmm.
word games, right?
Mhm.
Because
Yeah.
if you were forced, right,
That's different.
y'all would say that, right? You
Right.
would said I was forced or I was offered,
Yeah,
right?
because she said that she described an incident where she was coerced
Okay.
into
Okay.
consuming alcohol
Now I'm
while
gonna tell you
underage.
why that is a strong word,
Right.
right? That says an unwilling person to do
Mhm.
something by use of force and threats,
Right.
right? So that means somebody forced you or threatened you, if you
Mm-hmm.
don't do this or else, or here you better do this,
Yeah.
right?
That's what they said.
Now if
Mhm.
that's the case, if that's the case, you say you were coerced, which means you were threatened and forced. You got to show us that. You got to show us where you was threatened and where you was
That's
forced.
a fact.
How long ago did this happen? Where were you when this happened?
Right.
You notice we never heard anything about his text message communications or she received phone calls about this, that, or the other. So now we got to make sure this is maybe, are you one of the individuals that maybe was working there and on the
Yeah.
89th day, like a temporary agency does, maybe let you go and you maybe tried to double back because you felt everything was buddy buddy. They might have gave you a few compliments here and there because technically you grown if you're over a certain age and maybe the offer wasn't extended or the opportunity wasn't extended and You sat back, and a couple years later, you got mad. We want to know. It's too many holes in it.
Yeah.
We want to know. We want to know.
Yeah, I agree. We don't like hoes. The people really like when you got a situation like this, you got to be clear. You got to be clear and you got to be accurate. That's what I was saying at the beginning. You can't just be throwing stuff out there and not making no sense.
Where you were when this happened. We want to know if you were amongst other people. We want to know, did somebody force you or threaten you to drink liquor? It never says no physical anything happens. So we just want to know, right? I see this and I think it should be some type of law against this because they got Jay-Z the same way.
Hmm.
So it's just some holes in it. We want to know where you were at, how old you were.
Hmm. And what
Was it an
happened?
open bar situation? And I believe if these were the things that actually happened, they would have included these details.
All right, y'all, there it
Hmm.
is, man. Let me
So I feel like it's a sketchy situation. That's why I'm tapping in on other perspectives. I added my perspective. Make sure you guys go look at that. Right now, I feel like Wack 100 made some good points. You know, we need answers. Because sometimes it's easy to just throw out accusations and go, I feel like this, but then it's like we need answers before we could do that. You need the entire story. So if y'all want more info about this situation and want me to keep touching up on the situation, make sure y'all write more info in the comments. I got 3 other channels above my head. Love if y'all subscribe to one or subscribe to all, and I'll see y'all on the next one. I'm out of here.